The Final Four is here. 4 teams left at this year's World Cup. And in the first semi-final, it is Argentina taking on Croatia, a match from 4 years ago. What happened 4 years ago?
That's a gift for Rebic! Now he'll unleash one! Rakitic, they're going to walk it in!
4 years ago, Croatia obliterated Argentina. But now, the stakes are at an all-time high. A spot at this year's World Cup final. Who will it be? Will it be Croatia making it back-to-back finals? Will it be Argentina making it to their first final since 2014? Will Modric have another chance at the World Cup? Will Messi have another chance at the World Cup? Zlatko Dalic against Scaloni. Oh, the tactical battles. Will Scaloni play a 5 in the back? Will Zlatko Dalic start with Petkovic at striker? These are all the questions that will be asked before this game. You know what to do right now. You give your predictions in the comments down below. You like, comment, and subscribe. And further ado, let's get to the preview and prediction of this massive semi-final matchup. Zlatko Dalic in Croatia. I don't have any more superlatives to say about this team. Comeback kings, never give up, warriors, mentality monsters. Anything else? These guys never give up. And that's what I love about them. I said, if Brazil underestimate Croatia, they will lose. They did. They thought they could go for a second goal in the second half of extra time, but guess what? Croatia had other ideas, and it was the combination from Dinamo Zagreb, Orsic to Petkovic, and it's just drama. These guys love the drama. They love it. They love taking it to penalties, and then Livakovic becomes a hero again. Subasic 4 years ago, Livakovic this time around at the World Cup. You love to see it from this Croatian team. And they're unselfish. They work as a unit. Gvardiol, Lovren, absolute monsters in this World Cup. Then you have obviously Sosa and Juranovic. Juranovic is a fantastic right back. He's going to make a move probably not maybe this January transfer window, but the next summer, because the amount of space he covers is fantastic. And I mean, there's nothing you can say about this midfield. We know what the midfield is. Elite. Elite. But Brozovic, people are going to talk about Modric and Kovacic, of course. Brozovic, the work he did on Neymar and the passes he made, Brozovic, exquisite performance against Brazil. Now, of course, as we always talk about, the attack was lacking. They showed promise, right? They moved the ball very well, Croatia, into the final third, but just sometimes the final decision is the bad one. I wonder what Zlatko Dalic is going to do in this game. So, once Holland brought on the 2 tall strikers in Luuk de Jong and Weghorst, Argentina had some trouble dealing with it. Now, of course, those guys are just absolute monsters of a striker, but maybe that's something that Zlatko Dalic can look at with Petkovic, because Petkovic is about 190 centimeters, I want to say. Think about it. And I told you, we need to see more of Orsic. And what does he do? Gets an assist. He gets an assist in the most vital position possible. It doesn't matter. If Croatia go 1-0 down in this game, they're not out of it. They're not out of it. If they go 1-0 up, who knows? Maybe they could. That's the funny part. You know what's the funny part? Croatia haven't scored the first goal of this World Cup. I actually can't remember the last time Croatia scored the first goal of the World Cup. It's been since the 2018 group stage, since the last time Croatia have scored first at a World Cup. The group stage. Then they go through penalties, 1-0 down, 1-0 down. I admire this team so much, and that's what I love. Yes, they might not have the greatest talent like Brazil, but they never give up. And they're tactically such a good team under Zlatko Dalic. The way they just nullified basically Brazil's attack, and everybody was talking about it, including myself, I'm not going to lie. Including myself, I was like, you know what? Brazil's attack is so good. Surely, yes, Croatia have had a great defense, but they might concede 1 or 2. Bro, they didn't allow great chances. Okay, yes, Livakovic had to come up big sometimes, but they didn't have to make an amazing save or anything like that. Shows you, this defense is on point. The midfield is controlling games. The attack just needs to get that 1 or 2 goals, and Croatia can make it to back-to-back finals. But does Messi and Argentina have other ideas? Just like Croatia, Argentina love to make it a dramatic game. And this game wasn't the prettiest. It was a brawl. Wouldn't be surprised if this game was played in Buenos Aires, because this was an absolute brawl between the Dutch and Argentina. They went into the 2-goal lead. Yes, they played very good in the first half. I thought they controlled the match very well. Rodrigo de Paul is playing a lot better nowadays. But the second half was a bit meh. Yes, they didn't have possession, but they looked comfortable. They got the second goal, Messi with the penalty. After that, they collapsed. Their heads went away. That's the thing here. Argentina can control matches, but they need to have discipline. If you're going to lose discipline against Croatia, you will lose. So that is something Scaloni needs to think about. Okay, it's great bringing in Paredes, very good defensive midfielder. The guy's an absolute hothead. He just loses his mind like this. You need to bring players who can control a match. You saw, once Rodrigo de Paul left the field, completely collapsed the game. And obviously he had to leave because of an injury. And then the Dutch equalized it 2-2. You thought, oh my God, how's Argentina going to win this game? But you know what? This team as well is mentality monsters. They could have easily collapsed after that. They could have easily collapsed in extra time. But they fought back. They even should have. They created a lot of good chances in extra time. And then it gets to the penalties. And then Dibu, Emi Martinez steps up. This guy, man, he's elite in penalty shootouts. Elite. And, they all talked about what Louis van Gaal said before the game. And that was a clear motivation in that penalty shootout. And they won 3-2. And Argentina move on to the semifinals. Have they played the greatest at this World Cup? No, they haven't. Has Croatia? No, they haven't. But it doesn't matter how your performances are. Move on to the next game. Move on, and try and lift that World Cup. And that's the goal with this Argentinian side. Doesn't have to be pretty. They make it physical. They make it a very tactical game. But Scaloni, what are you going to do? Are you going to stick with this 5 in the back formation, which I actually thought worked pretty well because then you allowed Romero to kind of drift with the ball a little bit, Lisandro as well. But now with Di Maria maybe back to being healthy, will he start in this matchup? Will he go back to a sort of 4-3-3 or sort of 4-2-2-2 formation? Let's see with Scaloni, and we'll have to see with Di Maria's fitness, and De Paul is vital. He must start. If De Paul is injured, that's big, but he should be fine. And obviously, there's no Acuna or Montiel, so Tagliafico is going to have to step up in his absence. Look, man, Argentina can do this. It seems like it's destiny for Messi and Argentina, but they're going up against Croatia. This is not going to be an easy game. Remember what happened 4 years ago. Obviously, it's completely different teams, but Argentina got embarrassed by Croatia. Embarrassed. That was one of the worst defeats I've ever seen Argentina suffer. They can change that and qualify to the final of this year's World Cup. Prediction time. I don't know, people. I really don't know what's going to happen in this game. People will say penalties, Croatia win. Actually, to be fair, if this goes to penalties, I don't know who's going to win. You would say Croatia, but look at Emi Martinez. Look at how cold-blooded of a goalkeeper he is when it comes to penalty shootout. So that's kind of 50-50 because both goalkeepers, shout out to them both, Livakovic and Emi Martinez. That's why they're in the thumbnail, because they have stepped up for their nations. If Argentina want to win this game, it's going to have to be Messi brilliance again. The guy is he's carrying this team. He's playing at an elite level, Messi. And Croatia, they need their top players to step up again because they have Gvardiol, Lovren, Brozovic, Modric, Livakovic. I just wonder, can Zlatko Dalic somehow start Orsic and Petkovic and Perisic? I think that should be the front three. That is just my opinion, but you just see they just create a lot better, and the speed at which they attack is much better. Like Basilic and Kramaric, they're good players on the ball, but they just don't have that speed or that final third decision making to make a difference in the game. How will Argentina deal with that midfield? I mean, Enzo Fernandez, fantastic. The midfield battle is going to be great. McAllister, Fernandez, Rodrigo de Paul going up against Brozovic, Kovacic, and Modric. That is football at its best. If Messi steps up again and gets a goal and assist and leads his team to the final, wow. We're witnessing greatness, people. We already know he's one of the greatest players of all time. This is greatness if he can do it. But if Modric, and it's not been just Modric carrying this team, but if Modric carries his team to another World Cup final and steps up against Argentina, uncomfortable conversations will need to be had. Let's just keep it that way. So my prediction, I think Croatia are going to win this game. I think so. Now, this is no disrespect to Argentina. I feel like it's just destiny for Croatia, Like it's destiny for Messi, but there's just something about this Croatian team. have gone past the group with Morocco, Belgium, Canada. They got past Japan and everybody loved Japan and, they beat Spain and Germany. They got past Brazil when nobody gave Croatia a chance, except for Croatians. Maybe some people, of course. And now they're going up against Argentina. And most people will probably pick Argentina because they got Messi. But Croatia, man, there is something about these players right now. Doesn't matter if they're fatigued and they've gone to back-to-back penalties. Doesn't matter. They're used to it. They want this. So do Argentina. They want this. You see Paredes just kicking the ball at the opponents. Both teams want this, and it's going to be an absolutely physical game. Croatia win on penalties 2-1. Just to be clear, people, I mean 1-1, heads into penalties, and Croatia win. So therefore, it makes it 2-1 for Croatia after penalties, and we'll reach the World Cup final. Just to clarify. That's my prediction. Livakovic becomes a hero again, and I think could be the likes of Enzo Fernandez, or let's see if Lautaro comes onto the field to miss it, but I don't know. It's going to be 2-1 for Croatia on penalties. I think they will make it to back-to-back finals, and if they do, they're going to win the World Cup this time around. You don't go to back-to-back finals to lose. You make it to back-to-back to avenge what happened 4 years ago. Croatia will do it 2-1 on penalties. Oh boy. I mean, well, what can we expect for Tuesday, people? This is going to be fantastic football. I like the midfield, the Messi, the Modric. This is football at its best. Yes, maybe most people would be like, these two haven't looked like the greatest sides. Doesn't matter. It's about getting it done and progressing, and that's what I like about them. They play with passion and desire. Something that maybe Brazil didn't play with the last 5 minutes against Croatia. Croatia said, we're not giving up and we're going to score a goal, and they did. So let me know your predictions, people, in the comments down below. Should be a great game. Let's hit the like button. We should be hitting... What should be the target? Since we got 4 teams left, times by 100, we should be hitting 400 likes for the video. Do that right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And of course, we will be having a live match reaction to the game after the match. So hit the notification bell. You know when I go live. Have a beautiful day. Good luck to both teams. Stay safe in this crazy world. And my God, this World Cup has been one of the greatest of all time. Let me know your thoughts of that as well. And adios.